Kenosha,
Sorry, what part?
Kenosha, southeast, just in between Chicago and Milwaukee.
Yeah, I went to school in Wisconsin. I'm from Chicago.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I went to school in Platteville. It's near Iowa. It's 30 miles from Iowa, from
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Dubuque.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Morning.
darn.
Are you from that area too?
No, I'm from Missouri.
Morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Morning, Gina.
Morning.
How you doing?
I'm Peachy Keen. Michael, were you the earliest on here?
Yeah, I've been here for a while.
Like 40 minutes or something?
Something like that, yeah.
I saw it pop in and I literally was like, wait, what time does my thing start? And I'm like, no, you're cool. You can still like get ready. My schedule and me keeping it straight is like a very fragile thing. You know? Oh my gosh, it's so funny. So good to see you, Rob.
Good morning.
Morning. How you feeling? How's everything going with you?
Well, everything's going well with me. I'm feeling fine. As I was telling Bonetta, we were in southeast Wisconsin. We came to sit with my mother-in-law while my wife's sister and her husband went to Ireland. So, but as we were driving here last week, my mother-in-law had to go to the hospital. She had to be admitted, and she is still there, and she's going to be there for the foreseeable future. They're going to put her on dialysis in order to fix her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And she's 84 years old. And the kidney doctor, the nephrologist, says he doesn't recommend it, but it's an option. And she has elected to go ahead and do it because she doesn't want to die.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm
So,
sorry.
well, you know,
Yeah.
that's life.
Yeah, true that. Let's shift gears. And again, I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
No, it's all right.
All right, let's start with you, Kathy. Let's hear some good news. What happened good? Bring it up.
Well, Lucia is joined us just now and she joined our call, so that's good.
Yep.
The doctor yesterday is a big deal for me. So they told me that I have a posterior visceral detachment.
Okay.
And that's I guess the normal thing as we age. Never knew that. Of course, I have to be the oddball, right? But at this point, right now, the retina is not torn or anything.
Good.
So yeah, it's a process, and there's still a possibility that can happen. But right now we're good. It's just weird.
Well,
Yay!
you can deal with weird. Good
Yeah.
deal. Michael, let's hear something good real estate wise. What do you got?
Good real estate wise. Well,
Yep.
I'll be going down to Homestead today. So I got a couple of old leads that I'm gonna try to call while I'm down there.
You know, when he says old ladies, he probably means like our
Old
age.
leads.
Leads. Oh! All righty. Vanetta, what's some good news you got?
That tickled me. So I had another virtual webinar last night, and I had about 50 people to sign up this month. So,
Wow.
well, and we working on leads. We working on generating leads out of that. But the fact that people are signing up is awesome.
That is really, really good. Why don't you share, since we have two people who haven't been on here before, what your webinars, just really quickly, what your webinars are.
So I do a virtual webinar every month. You know, having been a former school teacher, I teach the 7 top mistakes that first-time home buyers make. And so in about an hour and a half, I have this webinar that I do online, Zoom call, and people sign up for it, and then I go over them, and then they book a call with me afterwards, and I see what I can do to, you know, to generate leads from that to move them forward. So I'm working with some clients that I had the last couple of months, and it's a bit challenging because, people are starting to get a little skeptical about, purchasing, but I keep them engaged. So it's working well for me.
Cool beans. That's the name of the game, is to keep when the market's tough on whatever side it's tough on, buyers, sellers, is keeping their head in the game. So cool beans. Thanks, Vanetta. Rob, let's hear some good real estate stuff. It's been a few days since I've seen you.
Yeah, I don't have any good real estate stuff. I've been here for a week already, and I'll be here for another week. So I'm stuck. I'm not doing anything right now.
Okay.
I've got my KV course set up, so I'm going to try to be working on that.
That's some good real estate stuff.
Yeah.
We're starting this meeting on a positive. We're
Well,
just a
that-
positive thing.
Let me know when you get that listing on that, when you get the paper signed for or is it you or is it somebody else who has that listing on the one down in Miami on the restaurant?
The rest
Not me.
is hang on, Randy. Randy's got the rest.
Oh, Randy,
Weaver.
okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Regina, what's some good real estate news? There's a dog. That's good.
Dogs. I'm over here driving in traffic, and she's barking at the men. Hold on.
Apparently, your dog knows your name when I call your name. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, she's something else. She was a rescue dog, so that's some great news. We got her as a pup. And she's just adorable. She's originally from South Carolina, but she's up here in Connecticut with us. And she's just adorable and we love her. And then my daughter has a French bulldog who's also in the car. Her bark is small.
Love it.
All right. So some good real estate news is that I am actively looking for an awesome broker. And I am ready to plunge into this real estate. I'm sorry if you can't hear me because of my dog.
It's okay. I'm going to mute you down, but I'll ask you to unmute. There we go. Okay, perfect. Lucia, Lucia, tell me how I pronounce your name because I hate butchering a name.
Lucia.
Lucia, perfect. Thank you so much. Lucia, we started off with some positivity, something good in real estate. What you got?
What do I got right now? Well, I put my house on the market and I have a contract, so that's good. So I'm just waiting but something interesting happened. I haven't seen it being used before. When I send the condo docs, they reply that they receive it, but also with an addendum saying that it's pretty much an out, that they have 7 days. If they don't like anything about the condo docs, they can get out of the contract and take the EMD as well. So there's a new addendum that is going around like that. Never seen it before in a previous market.
So
Yep.
It's basically a get out of jail clause for free.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to write, I believe in every state, you're allowed to write any kind of clause like that you want to. I've done real estate in a few different states and have the ability to write stuff like that. In this market, people haven't been, but even Robert Kiyosaki was famous for always writing an addendum that he had a 3-day get out of jail free clause for, he had to talk it over with his business partner. And his business partner was his dog. So that was his business partner, but he basically wrote everything with a 3-day get out of jail free. So interesting. And Lucia, what market are you in? What state are you in?
Maryland.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting. Very interesting. Mark Gimma, and tell me if I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, because again, I hate butchering names. And Mark, you're muted. I'm going to ask you to unmute, and I'll see if you can or not. Going once. There we go. Mark, you got some good news?
Hey, good news. Well, I was working all night, so
Ooh.
I'm happy to be alive.
Okay, so we have a guy that's Michael Ussery, and you really need to meet him because that is always Michael's good news too. And I'm gonna give you a pass because it's your first time on, so you can have your good news as being alive. I gave Michael one pass too. Bree, let's hear some good real estate news. Morning.
Morning. Good real estate news. I am lead generating today.
All right, what are you doing? You look like a rock star. What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm doing investors.
Cool.
I'm going after investors that have owned property for at least 10 years and have high equity. So who may be willing to cash out and buy something bigger or just sell. So I'm hoping to pick up some buyers and some sellers.
Cool beans. All
Are you
right.
gonna be making phone calls, Bree?
Yeah. I've got my list of 600. I'm putting them into Mojo and I'm just gonna cycle through them. It should take me about 3 weeks to get through them.
So how long have you used Mojo?
I've used before the team when I was on the years ago, I used Mojo a lot. Pretty much every day. And so the past year I have not. And I'm very comfortable with it. So I've used it for about 2 years, but the last year I have not used it.
I'm more skeptical of.
So I'm getting back into
auto-dialers.
it.
How would you rate that
So-
compared to some others?
How would you rate?
I rate it I rate it really high. I use it just for the dialer. I don't use their lists, the FSBO, and I find other lists are more accurate as far as the phone numbers are concerned.
Right.
I've used both the one line dialer and the 3-line dialer for the initial contact, like getting through cold call lists. They're great. When I do my sphere, I don't use the dialer.
Okay.
And it's pretty, I use it with Boomtown, which is very similar to KV Core, and moving the information from Mojo to KV Core is similar to moving it over to Boomtown. Once I make contact, I don't put them back into Mojo. And there's a way you can segment it on Mojo, which is why this one list is going to last me for several weeks. You can say, I don't want to talk to people that I've talked to in the past week or the past 2 days or the past whatever, so that you can always kind of go through and get the new people. And then once I move them, if you put them in buckets. But Mojo seems to be very efficient, and yeah.
Okay. I'd like to have somebody do a class on that for us. You or I know Michael Ussery uses it a lot as well.
Maybe Michael and I can get together and do a class on it.
Cool
That'd be
beans.
an
I just-
interesting
you know,
class.
I hate getting robocalls, and that's what I think of when I have a dialer.
Now, yeah, and it's pretty quick, as far as when it picks up. And if you do the 3-line one, if 2 people answer at the same time, one of them gets, and you put the number in that you want, so it doesn't come up as spam. Like you put your name in and the number you want to show up on the dialer, so people don't identify as it's spam.
Okay, so can you use your smart number with that? Or do
Yeah,
you know?
you can use any number you want. Yeah, no, you can use any.
Oh, lost Bree.
Number. So you tell Mojo what number you want. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You've used Mojo. I've used Vulcan 7. I've used Red X. I've used Land Voice. Oh gosh, what else is there out there? I think those are the ones that I've used. If you're using them for a number source, I think our number sources are better. I really do. But of all of those, if you're using them for the number source, I think that Land Voice, in the areas I've used it, Land Voice had the least accurate numbers. Mojo and Red X are really similar, and Vulcan 7 seem to have a little bit better. The deal is Vulcan 7 is really expensive, and Mojo and Red X are real similar in price. And then Land
Yeah,
Voice.
I would just I would just be loading up the numbers from realeflow that I've had skips trace. That's the only numbers I would use. I wouldn't use it to source numbers, I don't think.
Right, and then I like Mojo. I think Mojo is super easy to use. I really do. I'm with Bree on that one.
Okay, cool.
Super easy. And I was intimidated as heck to use a triple dialer the first time I used it years ago. And I just plunged in and made myself do it. And I'm like, this is stupid. I'm only talking to one person at a time. Why was I freaked out about there being 2 other lines ringing? I'm not talking to 3 people at once. So
Yeah,
that
my
was
fear is
my
always-
trepidation was.
My fear is always having, more than one person answer at the same time. But it sounds like Breeze, like Mojo Dialer's got I lost my train of thought.
A solution
Built-in
for it.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
solution for that,
system.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you won't
Yeah.
be. We're gonna be talking to one.
And you can, and if it happens, you can just drop a voicemail. Like you can, like there's ways about it to drop a pre-recorded voicemail.
Yeah, I remember Michael talked about that.
Yep. The other thing with Mojo that I didn't understand until I started using it, once I talk to somebody, I have to dump my notes immediately and do something because I don't have brains God gave anything anymore. If I ever did, you hang, the phone call's done, you hang up on the phone call and everything just stops. And then I can put my notes in and then I push go again. And then it starts all the dialing again. So it's not like, oh my gosh, it's not like that. You can stop it, put the notes in, and then move on to the next phone call.
Right. It'll stop the phone calls while you pause it.
Yep, exactly. So, all right, cool beans. Thanks, Bree. I think that
Yeah,
would be, if you two decide to do that, maybe even doing a live session where you're calling a couple people so people can just see you guys stop, deal with it. Because I know that was my trepidation and I had to dig to figure out why I was freaked out about it. And I'm assuming it's underneath other people's also. That they're cool.
I know it is mine for sure.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So you only get one at a time. Mojo does the backroom.
Yep. And so best practices, has anyone else here used a triple dialer at all? Nope.
I have. This is Bonetta.
Cool, Bonetta. Let's since we're on this subject, which is a great subject, let's throw out some best practices. Who's got them?
I prefer the dialer to the 3 dialers because sometimes it'll cut people off or, you call them back, they don't answer. That's just my personal preference.
Yep. Yep, that's what you found works for you. Bree, what kind of tricks have you found work for you?
Just make sure you've got a good list going in. And then like Gina was saying, once you make contact with them, pause it. Like once they answer and you start a conversation, pause it, do your notes. You can even flag it for follow-up, push it to Katie Court, whatever you got to do administratively to make your life easier for when you do have to follow up. And just like you would, and make yourself notes. Make yourself notes, flag it for follow-up before you push the go button to go back again. And my weakness, I love to make the calls. I have to be more consistent. So that's my best practice.
Okay, hang on. You said I love to make the phone calls, but and then you turned into alien speak for a minute.
Oh, but I'm more consistent in my follow-up. So putting all the information I need for the follow-up in my notes.
Cool.
And then, my next step. So
cool. For me, I found that my best practices were not dropping a message at all. And make sure that your dialer is compliant. You have to, there can't be too much blank space, or that's one of the FCC violations. There's some other, I can't remember what the other rule is off the top. I don't like leaving the drop messages. That's just me personally. If I did, it would be very, very casual. It would probably be, hey, it's me. Give me a call back when you got a second or something like that. But really, I found that if I didn't do that, I got way more phone calls of, hey, I missed a phone call, I missed a phone call, I missed a phone call. And so I actually picked up more people that way. It's been years since I've done it. So it's not like my information is purely accurate anymore. What I would do if it were me going into this is I would A/B test it. So I would run it one way. I would run maybe a triple dialer one day or 2 or 3 days, or maybe a week. And then I would maybe run a single dialer for a few days. And then I would switch it up to, once I knew which one of those worked better, to messages, message A, message B, no message, something like that. That's just one thing changed, and then run it both ways so that you can see what your rates are. And Mojo will compile all of your stats. You can see as soon as you're done calling how many contacts you made, et cetera. And just really kind of watch your numbers and continue to A/B test it until you tweak it for what lines up for you. Some
And
people,
I would do the A/B testing on different days. Because in Mojo, you can say, I'd like to look at everybody, the stats from everybody I called yesterday, which was the A day.
yep,
Look at those results, and then do the B day and look at those results and compare. And also when I do leave messages, I don't always, like Gina said, leave it short. Don't leave too much information. Don't leave it long. The key is you want them to call you back, not necessarily get all the information in the conversation left in the voicemail. And I find that's just gotten the best response rate, like Gina said.
yep, awesome sauce. All right, we've got plenty. Thank you so much, y'all. We got plenty of time left. Who's got a challenge? Who's got some challenge real estate wise that we can all pitch in on?
Challenge. I need business.
Amen.
All right, let's deal with it. What are we all doing to get business? Just really quickly, like, what's your lead generation? What's your lead generation? How many hours or dials or whatever it is you contact a day? What is it that you're doing?
20 contacts. Well, actually 25 because I'm behind.
25, define a contact.
Conversations.
Okay, in a week or a month or what?
A day.
Today.
Good.
Today.
Good. All right. And you're doing outbound investor list calling. All right. Who's got something else that they're doing? And what are they doing?
I'm just starting to do the realeflow sort and things like that. So I'm in the beginning stages of it.
Okay. So you're going to go through realeflow and grab your list. Do you know what kind of list you're going to grab?
Well, that's what I'm playing with right now. I'm working through some of those long-term folks that have high equity, that kind of thing, to see if there's, I'm looking between out of state and local just to kind of see what's what and compare. So I've done a few just looking at what's coming up, but I'm doing a smaller focused area to see if it's workable.
Cool. Okay. What do
Hey,
you got?
Kathy,
Yeah.
didn't I send you some in a spreadsheet when you first joined the team?
Yeah. It's buried in emails and stuff.
Those were all skip traced already.
Okay.
Oh, ready to go list? Cool.
That's a ready to go list.
All right.
So
will
just
see
go
if I
back
can
and look
find it.
through. Yeah, go back and look through that. That'll save you a little work.
Okay. Thanks, Rob.
And
Sure.
as Michael taught us, there's no such thing as an old lead.
Right.
Well, there's the expired, not relisted on, I believe it's IMAP, which in the Miami, it's part of the Miami Association. Well, not part of Miami, but they pay for that service. So when you pay for the Realtors Association down here, you get that as part of the package. So expired, not relisted. So what I'm trying to do is do the homework and figure out what's sold and what hasn't sold, and also figure out, if I could know it's expired and not relisted and it hasn't sold, then that should be, pretty good targeted leads. They're willing to list with people. They listed with someone before, hasn't relisted. If it's commercial, then that could be a nice, chunk of change. And So those are a couple of the properties that I'm working on.
Cool beans. And as you know, as you well know, that's my heart, is expired, not relisted. Oh my gosh, I love those. Like you said, they want to sell. They just failed. And 99% of the time they failed because of the agent on the other side. Benetta, what are you doing for your lead source?
So besides the virtual webinar, I'm sending out letters. I'm using realeflow. The conversation about the mojo is right on time, because the other day, what did I call? I called about 50, dialed about 50 numbers. I got, I got a trace list from, I just sent out the letters that Gary said for the zip code, and I sent out 48 letters last week, followed up with them. I'm going to send another batch. He said to send them like 12 times once a week. So I'm going to send another batch this week. And then I'm also doing farming. So I'm knocking on doors in my neighborhood with a door knocker tag, so that my clients can, my colleagues, my neighbors can know that I'm here. And I also just created a newsletter for my community.
Cool. When you're door knocking, it's your neighborhood, have you researched out, like, rather than a door knocker, have you researched out kind of what's going on in the neighborhood? Like, is there anything that's just had a multiple offer on it? Are there no properties listed right now? Is it the highest price per dollar amount just sold? Is there anything like that that you can take?
Yeah, I did do that. I run that information before I go. We just had an election here in my community. I asked people, what are the results? And I also asked people, since we just had an election, what would they like to see in a newsletter? Because we've never had one here. I've been here 22 years. And so some they like to have community information. They like to have county events. They like to have, community improvement, what's going on in the community, and they want the market news. So I asked, so that's what I knock on the door and say, hi, I'm Benetta. I've been here 22 years. What's your name?
Love it. What a great opener.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked is we just crunched the numbers up in Nashville, Bree. And in Nashville, the price per square foot of a house has gone up $47 from January. Price per square foot in a house, $47 from January. So I was talking to one of our other agents and I said, your script is this. The average house here is 2,000 square feet. You probably based upon this going up $47 per square foot, you probably have $94,000 in equity from 5 months ago. You ever thought about selling? So it's just, I love crunching my numbers and then taking my numbers around. Or we had multiple offers in this situation. We had 5 offers on this house down the street, blah, blah, blah. Mark and Tony's house down the street had 5 offers. That means there's 4 buyers that want to be in this area and can't. You ever thought about selling? And my favorite, stolen from a friend of mine named Rick out on the West Coast, is, hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but there are no houses for sale on your street. You ever thought about listing? I mean, it's just super sweet, super just boom. So, all right. Regina, what are you doing for lead generation? Nope, I got Regina quiet. Lucia or Mark, you guys want to pop in with anything that you're doing for lead generation? Oh, I got Regina. Oh, nope.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was feeding the dogs.
You're all fine, honey.
Okay. So what I did, actually, I purchased a list. So the list is, what is it? What would it be called? People that recently passed away. And what I do is I send out a letter. I do the same thing. I send out a letter. It is kind of local. So sometimes I do go by and I just pop in another postcard. And then that's what I do to get my leads.
Probate. Love it. Love it. We've got a whole section on probate and going after that too. Lucia, what you got going for lead generation?
Sorry, I'm working. At the moment, nothing. I'm just in standby.
All right. So Kathy's going to work with you on some of that so we can get you and get some business going. Mark, what you got going for lead gen?
I'm a driver, so I can always be doing driving for dollars.
I love driving for dollars. You are totally my friend. When I was actively selling, I found every driver I could. I found out what their favorite food was. Like my mail guy loved McDonald's. And I said, for every single time you ever see a for sale by owner or the grass 6 feet high in the yard, anything like that, take a picture, get me the address, let me know what that house is. He got McDonald's gift certificates left in my mailbox for him all the time. And that was a great source of leads for me. A great source of leads for me. So I love driving for dollars.
How
Yeah,
much of a
especially-
gift certificate did you do?
McDonald's, I did McDonald's gift certificates for the mail guy because
No. How much dollar value?
Oh, back then it was like, I don't know, $5 or something like that. It was super cheap. It was nothing. And but yeah, I'm old. I've been doing real estate a while. Yes, Mark.
Yeah, this time of year, you can tell if the grass is too high, obviously.
Yep, I'm looking for ugly houses. It's exactly what I'm looking for. So way cool. All right, you guys, it is 9 o'clock. Thank you for being here today, and go sell a house.
So Gina, are you sending out the copy of are you sending the video of these meetings?
So I have Ava who is editing them and then posting them. I have to find out, they'll be up on YouTube. So I'll find out where she is in that process because she's doing these and she's doing my other videos also. I know she's been working on it. So I'll find out where she is and if anything's uploaded, and then I'll let you know.
All right, thank you so much.
Nope, you're welcome. Thank you. All right, y'all. Have a fabulous day.
You all too. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.